Hi Flosstube, I'm Rachel, Stitchy Rach here on Flosstube and on Instagram. It is Thursday, the 29th of July, and this is a YouTube channel about cross stitch because I like cross stitch. Welcome back everybody. If you are a new viewer, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Welcome back to me as well. So I had a bit of a hiatus. This is the first time I've filmed in 4 weeks. I didn't intend it to be so long, but when I filmed on the 1st of July, I didn't really know what was coming at me. So my children technically had a further week at school, but then with all the pinging that went on, fortunately my own children were not pinged and didn't have to isolate, but so many teachers had COVID contacts that they in the end didn't have enough teachers to open my children's school. So summer holidays were brought forward by a couple of days, and so I had children at home the day I was intending to film, and then we went to the Outer Hebrides on holiday for 2 weeks, which, given we live in Kent, is basically as far away in Great Britain as you can reasonably get, and about as abroad as it's gonna feel this year. I think we got on a ferry, we're on an island, the beaches were beautiful, but it does mean that I have been away from home and not really in a Flosstube filming position. We've been home about 48 hours now. Obviously the children are on holiday, so I'm back to hiding in the spare room, and I think this is probably where I'm going to do most of my filming over the summer while everyone's on holiday. And it's good you can just see me in this corner, because honestly, if you could see the mess that is behind this this monitor, because I'm filming in the spare room, I tend to use it as my laundry sorting room, and given we've been away for 2 weeks, there are just piles all around of dirty clothes, half unpacked suitcases, errors with stuff hanging up because it's rained a bit over the last couple of days. So I'm glad you can only see me and not what is over there, because it's a bit of a mess. I'm going to try and get through this without any children bursting in upon me, but all 3 of them are at home, so we'll see how that goes. But hopefully now we're back from holiday, I hope I'll be able to film every Thursday again. We'll see how it goes given people are at home, but I should be able to find a few quiet moments. And I have missed doing it. I felt a bit out of the Flosstube loop, and felt like I kind of abandoned you all, because I did say I was going to film again on the 8th, and then, as I say, didn't because of all the school closing down. It all got a bit stressful, and the end of term all got a bit fraught, and it just ended up being a bit more chaotic than I had anticipated. But hopefully that's all calmed down now. Now we are off, and I hope you can put up with the temporary surroundings. Given that all the children are at home, I will try and keep the videos over the summer relatively brief. So I am going to showing you old FFOs on a bit of a hiatus, and I'll pick that back up again in September when everyone goes back to school. Okay, so the other thing to say before I show you my stitching is that we did go away for 2 weeks, and I think I have said before, I am not a massive holiday stitcher. I don't know why, because I stitch every day when we're at home, and then we go on holiday, and I enjoy doing it. It's my relaxation, it's my hobby, it's what kind of takes me away from the everyday chaos. But I think when we're on holiday, I think perhaps I just like the routine to be completely different, and I play board games in the evening with my husband and my kids, and I read, and I think perhaps that I almost need the holiday from cross stitch as well, and it kind of rejuvenates me for my stitching when we come back. So I did a little bit of stitching, but by no means 2 weeks of stitching. So while it's 4 weeks since I filmed, there definitely isn't 4 weeks of stitching, or my normal level of stitching here to show you. So I have 3 whips to show you that I've worked on since I filmed on the 1st of July. And then I have a little bit of haul, and I will talk to you about my plans for the rest of this week, but then I will do a proper overview of my August plans in next week's filming. I know it'll be a few days into August, but given I've only been home 48 hours and I'm currently sat in a laundry room, my mind hasn't really been focused on what I'm going to do for stitching next month. Okay, so let's break into the whips. So, the first whip I'm going to show you is what I was working on last time I filmed. I couldn't remember what I was working on last time I filmed. I had to go back and have a look and see where I was. I watched my last video, or at least scrolled through my last video this morning to see what I was actually working on. And last time I saw you, I was working on Lucy Heaton's Bouncing Babies ABC. My printer has run out of colour and I've lost the previous colour sheet, so this is just in black and white, so I'm sorry. But if you remember, I was on the S is for shoes block down here, and I was hoping that I would get that finished. Now that did not happen. Sorry, I'm just having to wrestle with a bag. I did make some more progress though, so I finished that top shoe and I have done the majority of that second shoe, but I didn't get to the end, so that will probably come back out later this week when I've finished what I'm currently working on, which I'll show you later. But yeah, I made good progress on this. So this is Lucy Heaton's Bouncing Babies ABC. It is available as a PDF download on her website, which I will link below. And I am stitching this on 36 count Edinburgh linen, just plain white by WIPGO with all the called for DMC. And we're cracking along, and this one has been called on my WIPGO for next month, so you might be seeing a little bit more of this one. So that's where I got to on that one before I put it away. I think I said to you last time that I was going to give it till the end of that week, and I did, and this is where I got to. So I think this one will come back out at the end of this week. So that's where I'm on that. And then we went on holiday and I took Spooky Halloween with me. So this is, let me find the cover sheet. I should find all the cover sheets before I start filming, but you know, I'd never start filming. Just before I was filming now, I realised that my online shopping deadline was in like an hour and I hadn't done anything on it. So I was suddenly madly going in there, deciding what we need for the weekend before I started filming. I've tried to film this 3 times now today. Once this morning, but then the morning got a bit chaotic. One of my children's been at a club all day and I was going to do it before I went to pick her up, but then someone phoned me, and by the time I'd finished that phone call there wasn't enough time for her to go and pick her up. And then we came back from that, and then I was going to film, and then I realised I had to do online shopping, so it's taken me a few attempts to get here today. Anyway, so on holiday I took Spooky Halloween. This was originally a Lakeside Needlecraft Sal. It's designed by Doreen Jones exclusively for Lakeside Needlecraft, but you can now buy it on their website as either a kit or just a PDF download. I just did the PDF download. And again, I showed this on my last video as well, and I didn't feel I'd made a lot of progress because I say I took this, I've been doing some out and about stitching on this, but obviously that was severely curtailed with all the COVID pinging that was going on. And I'd say I'm not a huge holiday stitcher, so maybe came out 5 times in 2 weeks, 4 times in 2 weeks. But actually, when I look back, I've made some good progress, and this is where I currently am. So I think last time you saw it, it had that middle house without the lights done, but I have added another house, a lot more of the border, and that kind of zombie in the far corner. And I'm really nearly there on this because all I have left to do is, where are we? So this is the zombie guy I've done. So I need to do this tree. That moon's big. That is a lot of stitching there in that horrible glow in the dark thread. It looks great, but it's awful to stitch with. That owl, and then just finishing just basically this section of border. So it's nearly there. There's not a huge amount of stitching left in it. The problem is I don't have a lot of out and about stitching time over the summer. But I think if I really knuckled down to that and did a little bit every day, it would be there in no time. I really like this piece. This is stitched on, it's not the called for, this is 32 count Belfast in Ember by Crafty Kitten Fabric, which I just love it. I think this fabric is perfect for this piece. It's stitched in the called for DMC. I'm just really, really happy with it. I think I'm going to turn it into a drum when I finish, because I think, not that I've ever made a drum before, and we've talked about my FFOing challenges before, but I think that would kind of look super as a drum like that. So yeah, I'll get it finished and then work out how on earth to make a drum, but how hard can it be? How hard can it be? So that's the second thing I worked on. And again, I've actually made more progress than I thought, so I'm really pleased about that. My daughter did have a dance exam on Monday, so I did stitch a little bit on it then. So the out and about stitching is not zero, it's just curtailed. And we are seeing some friends at the weekend as well, and they live a couple of hours drive away, so maybe I'll do some stitching in the car. We'll see, we'll see. And the third and final whip I have to show you is my Snoopy afghan. So again, more progress than I thought since last time I filmed. So last time I filmed, I said I wanted to get 2 more squares done in July. And I was halfway through stitching this guy, or maybe 3/4 of the way. But I did finish him quite quickly. There wasn't a lot left to do on him, just some of Snoopy's body and then the back stitching. I love how the back stitching makes these look. If you go back to my last video, you'll see just what a massive blob woodstock was, and the back stitching really makes them. Sorry about that, bit of a life emergency. My youngest is a bit of a menace. Generally quite good, but has this mania for squeezing cosmetic products away. So bottles of shampoo, tubes of toothpaste. She's mainly over it now. It was at its worst, very annoyingly, at the start of lockdown in 2020, when everyone was panic buying, and you'd buy a whole new bottle of shampoo and she'd squeeze it all down the toilet when you were not paying attention to her. And my eldest just came and said that she squeezed a whole tube of toothpaste into the upstairs bathroom sink, which she had. So I just had to go and deal with that. Joys of small children. Anyway, so I can't remember where I got to on this. So I think I'd shown you that I had finished this square, which was Snoopy and Woodstock. So got that one done, and have now almost finished the next one. This is hard to see because it's white on white, but Snoopy's body is nearly done. I think there's about 5 more lines of stitching there, and then the back stitching to finish Joe Cool and Woodstock. So hopefully I'll get that done tonight, and if not tonight, then definitely tomorrow night, and then I can go back to those S's for shoes for the rest of the week. So I'll quickly do plans, given we're kind of already covered it. So plans is finish this square on the afghan, which is also another square on my WIPGO board, get that ticked off, and then try and finish S's for shoes by the end of the month, which, what day's 29th? So if I finish this today, there's only 2 more stitching days in the month anyway. Sorry about that. Middle child discovered me and is asking me if they can play on the Nintendo Switch, and it is not Nintendo Switch time yet. So my hiding place, as you can see, has been discovered, and interruptions are now plentiful. Plans. So Joe Cool Snoopy finished tonight, hopefully, and then 2 days stitching on the S's for shoes, and then the WIPGO goals that have been called for August on another square of Snoopy and another block on the Bouncing Babies ABC. So I will probably just go from that S's for shoes and run it through until I see you next week. But we'll see, who knows? That's my rough plan at the moment. But as I say, we've been home 48 hours. As you can see, interruptions are plentiful, and haven't fully figured out what I want to do. But that's what I'm thinking at the moment. Okay, I will move on to haul, and then we will wrap this up before there are any more interruptions. So please bear in mind when I show you this. This haul isn't actually that much, but it is also 4 weeks worth of haul. So bear with me. Okay, so haul that came before I went on holiday. So first of all, my Country Cottage Needleworks sampler of the month and fabric came from Sue at Peakside. This is the August one. I don't know if you can see that. They're very small pictures. I wish they made the picture a little bit bigger. So that's those. Someone did ask me in the comments, and I think I'm a little bit behind on replying to comments, but somebody did ask me if I knew what I was going to do with my July month yet, because it's very American, and I don't, because I haven't started stitching these yet, and I haven't tackled that particular problem just yet. So no, I'm sorry, I don't know. I can't help you. And then also from Sue at Peakside was Hedgerow, which is the latest in the Plum Street Sampler stack collection. How cute are those hedgehogs? Oh, in the our holiday in the Outer Hebrides was actually on the Isle of Lewis, and hedgehogs must be doing much better there than they are down here, because I saw several squashed hedgehogs on the road, which, although is very sad, means there must be hedgehogs to be squashed on the road. I love hedgehogs. They're so cute. Can you hear my children jumping around and bickering upstairs? Anyway, so those were both from Sue at Peakside. And then I'm going to get this company's name right because I always say it wrong. Foxglove and Lace had another linen sale, which I jumped on board, and I got 3 pieces of linen in their sales at the beginning of July. So the first one was, oh, they make such beautiful linen. They dye such beautiful linen. The first one was some 40 count clotted cream. I have shown you clotted cream before. Let me get a piece of white so you can kind of, yeah, that's shown nicely. Maybe a little yellow. That's what I'm stitching my Jane Marshall on from Hands Across the Sea samplers, but it is a really, really beautiful gentle cream. So that was the first piece I got. And then I got 2 pieces of fabric that are different counts and technically the same colour, but it just goes to show you what a difference that underlying fabric makes to how the fabric dyes, because those 2 pieces of fabric are from the same dye, but it just shows how different counts take the dye differently. So this one is 38 count latte and this one is 36 count latte. I just think they're beautiful. So some really beautiful neutrals from Foxglove and Lace, and I will link their Instagram page below. So lovely fabric haul there. And then on holiday, Stornoway is kind of the capital of the Isle of Lewis. It's basically the only settlement of any size on the Isle of Lewis. And they had a really nice little craft shop on the high street. It wasn't just cross stitch, it had all kinds of different crafting things in there, kind of, you know, Hornby train sets and some knitting wool, but they also had some cross stitch, and I picked up a thistle bookmark. I quite like these bookmarks. Who makes them? Textile Heritage. Yeah, I've stitched a few of these in the past and they're quite nice stitches. And even if I don't make it into a bookmark, I might just make a little thistle scissor fob or a something to go in a journal, just to remind me of my holiday. So I got something very quintessentially Scottish. And then they also had several sets, and I bought one by a designer called Historic Hebrides, and they were all scenes. I think there were 3 or 4 different kits, and they were all scenes from the Outer Hebrides. I can't remember what they all were now, which is really annoying. But anyway, I got this, which is the Callanish standing stones, and these are a circle of standing stones on the Isle of Lewis. And it's, yeah, Historic Hebrides, designed and produced in the Western Isles. I'm not sure they sell online. It says Carlaway cross stitch on the back, produced on the Isle of Lewis. So I don't know if they sell online. I haven't explored that, but it came with 14 count blue Aida and anchor thread. I'll probably sub out the blue Aida for some blue even weave or some blue linen, but I thought that'd be a really nice reminder of my holiday. And also apparently the Callanish stones are what the Outlander filmmakers based their circle on when they were filming. Anyway, there you go. So I bought that as well. I don't know when I'll start it. And then some project bag haul. Now, I have been a very bad Flosstuber and already put things in the project bags. I know you're not meant to until you've shown it on Flosstube, but I just needed to do some organising of my life. So I'm afraid I have. So the first 2 are my House of Stitch and Stash project bag of the month from Rika. And these were, I think, the May and June bags. I'm afraid I don't know which way round. So this is one of them. This beautiful navy blue with a turquoise and reddy pink flower on. I think that's lovely. And the inside lining of that was this kind of red check. As you can see, they're really good vinyl fronted project bags. And I've put in here Jane Marshall, because she deserves a nice project bag, doesn't she? Jane, she's very pretty. Anyway, so that was the first one. And then the second one was this one. It's this a red with a kind of daisy or chrysanthemum. I can't say that. Chrysanthemum on it. And I've popped cardinal points in there. Which I would love to get back to. I'd love to get cardinal points on my wall. And that's kind of got this kind of tulipy, ditzy internal fabric. But yeah, cardinal points. Let's get back to that, because who doesn't want cardinal points on their wall? So pretty. Yeah. And then my final project bag is another amazing Penelope's pocket bag from Sarah. And she posted this fabric on her Instagram and said she was making some project bags. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God. And then she messaged me to say she put them up on her website, which was really kind of her. But we, as I say, we were in the Outer Hebrides and it was a day when we were travelling. And by the time I got somewhere with some decent internet signal, I couldn't find them on her website. And I messaged her and I was like, oh no, they've all gone. And she said, oh no, I've still got 2 left. And look at this. Look at that fabric. I just love it. Love it. And what else could you put in this project bag except Snort Stack by Plum Street? I mean, honestly, that fabric is just made for that pattern, isn't it? It just is. And I got the tassel as well to go on the zip. It's got this cool blue chick fabric. I think there was one with yellow chicks as well. I think she sold out of all of these though, but go and have a look on her website. I will link her below, and she's got lots of other lovely things. And I also got the floss minder with the chick as well. And I think I'm going to keep all my animal stacks in this bag because it's just perfect. It is just perfect. And I think that is all my haul. So, as you can see, a bit chaotic, a bit more interrupty than usual. And there's probably going to be less stitching time over the next few weeks, but I hope to be able to come back and still join you every week and show you what I have been working on. And while it all seems to be quiet, I think I'm going to say goodbye. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you'll like and subscribe and leave me a comment, and I will try and do a bit more interaction because I know I've been a bit lax on the replying to comments fronts recently, but thank you so much. It is so nice that people watch and people, you know, say nice things, and it it makes me want to do it more. And I'm starting to make some really good friends through doing this as well. So until next week, have a good week, Flosstubes.